Are you in the process of sorting out your money issues, or you are trying to be good at your money management? But for some reason, you just find it really hard to get your head around it. You know you need to do something, but at the end of the day, you just do nothing at all. And then you got really frustrated with it yourself. If this is you, or if you want to know why, then this episode is for you.
Welcome to the Money DNA channel. Money DNA is a financial fitness community where we bring everything about money and beyond money concepts in life to help you create healthy money habits and to be financially fit for good. It is important to understand that the advice is general in nature and does not take into account your personal objectives, financial needs, and overall well-being situation, and it may not be appropriate for you.
Hi everyone, it's Winnie here. Thank you for tuning into Money DNA. We'll be looking at first step of creating healthy money habits, discover your core value. And join me today is Dr. Olivier Becherel at Mastery to Success. Dr. Olivier Becherel has been building up his business and also knowledge in the last 30 years across the mind-body connection, neuroscience, and human behavior all together to help professional and also business owners to master their life and then also break through all the roadblocks in life. Dr. Olivier Becherel, welcome to Money DNA.
Thank you, Winnie. Thank you for the opportunity of having me.
Yeah, Olivia, do you mind if I just call you Olivia?
No, that's fine. Just call me Olivier.
Thank you. Olivia, I found that so many people actually come to Money DNA because they are actually in the beginning of sorting their finance out, or they are in the process of trying to be in charge of their money. But they know that there are going to be something that they need to do. But at the same time, it seems like they always find it really hard. Whether it's going to be the time that they found a lot of reasons for them to postpone the action, or whether it's going to be the reason that they just can talk themselves out of that. So I find that sometimes it's quite interesting about their dynamic and also the mindset. Mm-hmm. You and I talk about this before. So I think that is going to be really benefit for our audience to learn how to find their core value and at the same time also know how to find their master the way that they are going to manage their finance. So today I wanted to talk about the what is the core value and what is going to be important to them, and also the how are we going to do and how they are going to master their thing. So before we start, can I please have you introduce yourself to our audience about how you get to this field?
Mm-hmm. So I started initially my career in medical research. So my background is medical research, cell biology, neuroscience, and genetics. And I've always been very curious about life and human nature in a way. And so while I spent most of my career working in the lab and doing experiments, I gradually felt more that there was something missing for me. And that was more about the human side and how to understand how the mind functions and especially human behavior. And so that's where I started to decide and take a different trajectory in my life. And I decided to quit the medical research in the academics field. Mm-hmm. And really dive more into the human behavior and how can I use my years of knowledge and experience in, let's say, the brain research and neuroscience to really help people to make meaningful changes in their life and help them break through to the next level in their career or in their life. And that's how I combine really my basic understanding of research and experience around the brain neuroscience with more about a practical approach to human behavior and helping people transform their habits and make change in their lives.
That's so important. And thank you for sharing. I found that a really important thing is because through your own personal experience and also whether it's going to be the research side of things and also find the missing link that is actually going to help people to break through all the roadblocks they have. And I found that even with myself, the reason I got into this field at the moment is because in the past, when I was helping other people as a financial planner or even as a business banker, I found that there are going to be some of things more than just money itself, more than just the spreadsheet itself. it actually is a part of that is about our soul and also our connection with our mindset. And that's why I think that it's really important for us to bring out this topic today as a very first step to creating healthy money habits. So I think that the very first thing I would like to ask Olivia is, so we've been talking about core value. A lot of people actually also learn about like a couple of terms like core value or their belief system and the thoughts. So I guess that my very first question is, what is core value and why is it so important to us?
Mm-hmm. So core values, a simple way to explain core values is our highest priorities in life. It is what is most important and meaningful to us. And so values are really individual to each person. So each person have a different set of values. And what is interesting about values is that they're organized in a priority list. So we have the most important value, then the second, third, to the least important. And so it's basically our list of priorities. And that list of priorities for us is what really determines our daily behavior. How we spend our time, how we use our energy, how we spend our money is also an important part. And so really understanding our core values simply means that we really understand what is our default behavior, the things that we do naturally, even without thinking about it. And that's why sometimes people don't know that they have operating according to a certain program in a way, and their core values is what is behind the program that regulates their default behavior.
It actually reminds me of that movie Matrix because everything has the behind or default system that we are having. I actually quite like the way that you describe the core value. Core value is also the set of the priority that you have as a default system, which is very interesting. I also like the way that you are saying that the priority is actually detect the way that you are going to set your time and also managing your own energy and money. Isn't that interesting that people are thinking that these are going to be the things that they want to do, but the actual behavior is so different from what they are actually doing in life?
Exactly. Yeah, what people want to do is usually they have some goals. This is what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
But what is really important to first move toward achieving a goal is first to understand what is the default behavior happening. Because if we don't understand that, there's no way we can change it. So we first need to get that first step of self-awareness, of observing what's really naturally happening in our life. And from there, now we can have a look whether there's an alignment between what we're trying to achieve or trying to change versus what is currently happening.
Wow. Okay. I think that one of the things that Olivia, you were just mentioning is to have that awareness. I guess that a lot of people actually know that, we need to be aware of that, but maybe we can also paint the picture for them. So let's say that, can you give us some example? What is it going to look like for someone has a high priority as their core value to manage their money then?
Mm-hmm. So when someone has a high value on managing money and let's say building wealth, so what it's going to look like is in the normal day-to-day life, they're going to spend some time looking at their bank account, maybe tracking their savings account, maybe managing their expenses and be more aware of their expenses and exactly where is the money coming and where is the money going. If they have some portfolio of investment, they're going to track their investment probably every day to check what's happening. And so their natural behavior on a daily basis or on a weekly basis is going to be reflected into an activity that is related to managing finances, tracking finances, looking at their bank account, looking at their numbers, checking their superannuation. So when someone's spending some actual time and energy doing that, what it means is that it just confirms that they have a high value on managing money. On the opposite, if someone doesn't have a high value on managing money, they probably have no clue what's happening in their bank account. They probably have a lot of expenses that they're probably out of control. And they're probably beating themselves up too, because they think they should be better at managing money, but their default behavior is not showing that. It's simply not, it's not about they're not being a good person or anything. It's simply because their value on money is not high enough for them to put attention and effort into it.
That actually reminds me of one of the meeting with her clients last week. She was beating herself up with the fact that she feels so bad about the way that she managing money. But before our conversation, she actually didn't really know what the money is coming in and how much she's spending. But at the same time, the idea of she is not managing the money well actually already overweight the whole thing. And when she's starting to put some time understanding about her money and also the way that it's coming in and going out, she actually feel a little bit of relief because she finally understands that, oh, okay, this is the reality. So I guess that one of the things that you just mentioned is someone who has a high priority as managing their money as their core value, they tend to spend some time and also energy on checking on things. I just want to double check with one thing though, because you are saying that we have to do it every day. Is it going to be the frequency?
It's not necessarily every day, but remember, when something is high in your value, is a natural thing for you to do. It's not something that you force yourself to do. It's a natural default behavior. So some people might check it every day, some people check it a few times a week, but it's part of their routine. So one way to keep in mind is something that is high in our values is something that is embedded in our routine, whether it's daily routine, weekly routine. But it's something that we do naturally. We don't think about it. We just do it by default. Yeah, and that's just a sign of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sound of it because I think that sometimes when we're checking on, let's say that if someone is going to do the investment and if they are going to check in on from every single day, they probably is going to feel a little bit like riding the roller coaster. But I guess that one of the things that you are saying is when it comes to the high value for yourself, it actually becomes a natural behavior.
Exactly.
Embedded into the routine of what you do. I guess that's what we are trying to achieve here. So I guess that my next question here is, okay, I understand that in order for me to manage my money well, then I have to, set up managing money as my priority now. So how am I going to start? What is going to be the first steps that I need to follow through? Can you please just guide through us on what to do now?
So the first step would be first to determine your values and really looking at what is currently your reality and what is your default natural behavior. And so a very simple step for that, one of the easiest way to get a pretty good understanding of your values is to look at how you use your time. Because, we all have time, but we all have limited time. And so it's a very precious resource for us to use. Therefore, we don't have a tendency to wanting to waste that resources. So if we track our time, it's going to give us a good indication about what is most important and meaningful to us, which is, in other words, a reflection of what is our core values.
Okay, so the very first step is going to track on your time. So are you saying that we are going to log into every activities that we have in our life?
Yep. So one simple way to do that, and now with the advance of technology, we can use simple time tracking apps. You can download on your phone, and there's free apps you can download on your phone. One I used previously with myself and with clients is called Clockify. So it's a very simple app, but you can download the app, and then for each block of time, you can put a label, a category. So for example, you might have you do it in the morning, you might have, let's say, yoga. If you do yoga every day, or maybe a couple of times a week, yoga is something that is important to you. So you might start to log yoga. So you're going to start how you log your day, and you do that for a week or 2 or 3 weeks. And at the end of that time, what you're going to do is you're going to sort the priorities and find out which one comes up the most often. A very simple way to do that is to create a pie chart. It's going to give you the percentage. So for example, maybe the percentage you're going to spend most of the time doing, let's say, work. But you want to find out about work. What is the really thing that is important to you about work? So it's really about tracking your time and really observing what your life demonstrates. It's not about what you wish your life would look like, It's about what your life currently is. And that's the reflection of reality. And by tracking the time and the activities you do every day, and then at the end of a couple of weeks, doing a pie chart to find out the percentage, this is going to give you a very good indication about your priorities of values, your hierarchy of values in a way.
Yeah, I guess that also another simple term is what you're saying here is, of course, tracking things just like any other of our work in our modern days. We have all the information coming in, and then those are just become a data or the information. So what you are actually doing as a second step is actually sorting out the information. And you mentioned about the 3 apps that you're using. And if you don't mind, can you also share that with our
can share the link?
The link to our audience. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I also put it into our description down below. And so the second thing is to sort. After I'm sorting on things, what's going to be the next then?
So after you sort, you're going to have a list, and you're going to have your highest value, the second, the third one, the third, and you're still going to have a list of priorities.
Yeah.
And so now that you have your list of priorities, it's important to look at what you're trying to achieve. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve about your money management or your finance? And having a look and comparing, does my goal match my highest priorities in life? If there is a match, what it means is you're going to have a higher probability to achieve that goal because it's already important and meaningful to you. If you have a goal of developing more, let's say, financial IQ or becoming better at managing your finances, but let's say the value of managing money and building wealth is not within the top 3 to 5 core values, it's going to be a bit more difficult because there's a bit more work required to be able to rewire your mindset in order to align your goal and your values. It's possible. It's not doom and gloom. It's possible, but there's a bit more work because what needs to happen is a change in behavior. If there is no change in behavior, there's no change in the outcome.
That is so interesting because it right away reminds me of multiple conversations I have in the past when people come to us and say that, hey, I actually is reaching to a retirement age and I really want to start to prepare for my retirement. What we are trying to do is, of course, come up with a strategy for them and just say that, hey, these are the things that you can do. But then when we get into the next review conversation, it's going to be a little bit harsh because this is the things that you want to do. And I already give you the idea of actions that you need to take. But whether they are going to do it or not, that's a different story. Now, what you are saying is, as a step 3, is after sorting, we understand about priority. And then with the priority, we have to also align with the goals that they have. And I guess that's the things that they were missing before.
That's a thing that a lot of people miss. They have a goal, but they don't know whether their current behavior is aligned with the goal.
Yeah.
And so if there is a misalignment between the goal and the behavior wins.
Yeah, that makes so much sense now. Now, I think that another thing that you mentioned about is align with their goal. And I guess our goal is such an important thing. It's just like when you are driving, if you don't really know about your destination, it's really hard for you to even set up your GPS. But because the goal is such a big topic, I think that maybe we're going to leave that into the next episode. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, that would be great.
Cool. Well, Olivia, I think that today is such a fruitful conversation that we have. If I'm going to just summarize what we do today is obviously understand about creating a good and healthy money behavior is going to start from understanding and also discovering our core value. And in order for us to understand about the core value is actually tracking the time and energy and the routine that we have, and also sorting them out. And then at the end, setting up the understanding about priority. Am I right about summary everything that you just said?
So in order to achieve a change, we first need to be aware of what's currently happening. And the easiest way to understand what's currently happening is to determine our core values. It's about tracking our time, how we use our time, because the way we use our time reflects what is most important and meaningful to us. And therefore, that's where we put most our thinking and our energy and effort into. And so that's the number one step, understanding our core values, being really clear on the priority of those values, and then looking at that priority of values and seeing whether is there an alignment with the goal we are trying to achieve. That's the number one key. Because no matter how good is the goal, if there's no alignment with what we're currently doing in our behavior, we won't achieve that goal.
Wow, that is so true. And thank you so much for taking the time to share with us with this wisdom. I think that we're definitely going to have another episode about how we're going to setting our goal. So guys, if you like what we share and you think someone may benefit from the content, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. And if you like to book a complimentary consultation about your financial fitness plan or your money DNA, or even content Olivia about how you're going to understand about your core value and also your personal development and personal leadership, the link and the contact detail will be captured down below. Thank you for joining us today, and please keep financial fit and healthy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.